Hey guys, I've learned how to jump with a kiteboard in 7 days. In my last episode of learning how to kitesurf, I've learned the basics, and after 7 days I felt pretty comfortable with cruising around. This season it was time to level up. There are many great tutorials on the tube already, so let's change the perspective a little. From rookie to rookie, I'll give you 8+ tips that helped me to jump in the end. Michi, the owner of the local kitesurf school, also had some useful tips and I will share them with you. Coming to Michi's pro tip number 1. Start with smaller jumps and keep it low. Before you really jump onto a Moto X bike, you should practice with a Vespa. Let off the clutch slowly before you learn how to really kick it in. This way you avoid surprising 9-meter jumps, and that is what I actually did. Michi's pro tip number 2. You actually follow along the basics of a transition. Nothing fancy, but keeping this in your mind simplifies a lot. So first of all, slow down by edging your board into the wind. Second, turn your shoulder upwind and press harder through the back foot. Try to position the board almost entirely upwind. 4. Steering the kite slowly towards 12. And last but not least, as the kite reaches 12 o'clock, sheet in the bar, but this time not just a little to support your weight. In this case, you pull a little harder and you will experience the takeoff. At least in theory. Oh, first fail. Need to be a little bit more careful. Whew. Familiarize yourself with the local conditions and approach locals or a kite school to learn about water depths, tides, winds, etc. Flat water is great to learn, but avoid areas that are too shallow here, as it can get dangerous quickly. Very shallow. Every kite has its own sweet spot. Imagine a jumping board where the Olympic athlete has to jump in just the right moment when his or her foot hits the jumping board. The same applies for the kite. You will figure out where to sheet in the bar, where's really the sweet spot. Anyways, more sportive kites have a smaller tolerance compared to moderate freeride kites. Just try it out. And don't forget to practice some back rolls in between. Try my first back roll. Adding rocker to a kiteboard has several practical effects that you can easily feel on the water. In addition to improved grip, channels help to break the surface tension of the water and allow softer landings. Grooves on top of the board assist you with finding proper grip while doing grabs. That's the most common scenario. You lose your board while kiting. As long as your kite is still up and flying, just body drag upwind and you reach the board. After a fall, don't get hectic. Be assured the board is most certainly upwind of you. Make sure you make long enough tags and they should be of the same length. Like this, you won't miss the board and end up eventually directly beside it. If you can't see or reach the board due to waves and currents, don't hesitate to ask someone around who's kiting. Tip number 7. Document via video. Perhaps the most obvious benefit to using video analysis is the ability to provide immediate feedback to your action. Video can show and correct mistakes instantly. You're able to actually see what you're doing and ultimately retain the information better. And lick your lens occasionally to keep a clear view. Hi, it is 5:30 in the morning. This weekend there's quite a lot of wind. It's pretty stormy, rainy and also pretty cold.
Global superstorm on Tuesday, fall wind gusts up to 1,000 miles an hour.
According to the recommendation of my local surf school, I didn't went out yesterday as the winds blew up to 40 knots of wind.
Trust your local surf school. Don't exceed capabilities. So not more than 30, fine for me. If you're really interested to build up your skill and wind speed over time, allow yourself a couple of years before you really think of exceeding the 30s.
It's cold, like 10 degrees. We've got those very gusty winds. I will report right after the session.
Wow, what a morning. It was pretty gusty, pretty windy. I've experienced some pretty intense moments. Was able to jump at least 3 to 4 meters high. It was a very nice morning. I'm totally awake. Woo! It was definitely worth it to go out for this one. What a ride, what a day. We've had sunny spills today. And I think as this year comes to an end, probably one of the best sessions so far. Unfortunately my GoPro 360 went flat, the battery went flat, and at a certain point it did not record anymore, but that wasn't any problem at all because I was able to just enjoy the moment, and that's what it's basically about. It was a fun ride today. I really enjoyed all those experiences. I did some back rolls. I did some decent jumps, some 180s, some switch rides, some transitions. And I was able to really pop out of those waves. So what did I achieve? After 7 days and a lot of dedication, I've successfully learned how to jump with a kiteboard. I am able to jump safely up to a height of 3 to 5 meters and have acquired additional skills such as back rolls, grabs and 180s. I've built a strong foundation to progress to more extreme heights. And I think this challenge has been accomplished more than I expected. If you enjoyed watching this video, please like and subscribe to our channel, comment in the comment section below, and see you next time. Hang loose.